Yo, what's up guys? It's Elephant and I am back after an 8-day break. Don't really know why I had an 8-day break. I just kind of lost motivation and just grinded clubs. That's all I really did with top drives. But we've got this daily infinity pack, so we might as well open it. And this video is going to be my top 25 most useful clubs cars. Now, they're not like my top 25 recommendations for what you guys should keep for clubs. These are just my okay. Well, a nice ultra rare right there. Not really sure what's happening to it, if it's getting buffed or not. And I have 0 slots because of the crap ton of fuse I have. So we'll have to figure out something on what I do with that guy. Maybe let's just find some ultra rare that's not getting nerfed. Or buffed. Someone that's just chill where they already are. Let's see. Honestly, I don't know. You're getting dropped to super rare. But I'd say, I believe that the Super Impreza WRX, I'll max out the baby driver car. I believe this guy isn't going down in rarity, so we'll do that. And then I think I'll actually add this Infinity and lock it to my garage for now, but that's not the real purpose of this video. So, first of all, just in the corner you can see I'm nearly at 1.5 million, and I also have a lot of gold too, but I'm going to get more gold so I can buy all of the offers when this new update comes out, because I am very excited for this new update when it comes out. That's why I'm thinking it's 3 countries have been revealed so far, plus like China and Arab Emirates or the UAE have both been revealed as well with De Tomaso and W Motors. But USA, Germany, and Great Britain have all been revealed as 3 manufacturers that have a lot of cars from those brands. So I'm thinking of doing 500k for each of those companies from like the country-specific packs, just all in one video. Because I feel like that would be a good video to make, and then I'll have another video separate on my Discord server, so if you'd like to be a part of that video and be able to speak and stuff, join the Discord server, link in description. That'll be with the carbon fibers and all that stuff, and I bet that'll be also a pretty fun video to make. But I am definitely excited about that. Oh, I can also add some of these guys too. And so I'm going to be going through my top 25 most useful clubs cars for me, because this new corrections update is going to screw up everything in my garage. Like, everything is changing. I'm gonna get 6 new legendaries, and I'm losing 1 legendary, which is the Valentino Balboni, but I'm having 6 new legendaries in my garage just from this new update. Like, that's insane. My 33 legendaries will go to 38, which is just crazy. But enough talking about my hype for the update and stuff. I'll talk about that later on Sunday, I believe, is when the update comes out, unless something changes, or I just can't do math. But there will be a reaction video to the update and reaction to my garage and how it's changed and all that stuff later, so just stay tuned for that. Also hit that subscribe button. So, my number 25, in 25th place, we have the, actually I should probably just use the search bar because I have these all written down. It is the TVR, it is the TVR 3000S. Now, this car has been used in 600 total races, nearly had it for 500 days with a 69% win ratio, but I just find it to be a very useful all-rounder when I can't use like the Lotus Europa or the Chrysler Conquest or that other one, the Nissan Fairlady, I believe is what it is. Then this is just the next best option. It's Rq27, and it's honestly not that bad. It has better stats than the Ford Taurus Show, which is another useful car that's Rq28. And for being one cheaper RQ, it doesn't really have any MRA, but it is also a pretty lightweight as well, so I just find it to be quite useful all the time. And it doesn't really lose by very many points when going up against better cars. Now, the next car I have, okay, I had to remember what it was, but it is a Renault, and it is, where is it? Right here, number 24th place is the Renault 12 Gordini. Now, it gets to more interesting cars the later we go on, but this one is actually a pretty useful one as well. Doesn't have more races than I've had it for days, but that's also because common club requirements aren't really used that often. But one of the most common club requirements then when it comes to common cars is common times 5 French cars times 2. And this is a very useful French car to actually have. I maxed it out from some challenge, I believe. I don't remember which collection series it was, but it was from one collection series, and then I maxed it out from that. And it's actually a very useful club car. Like, usually with commons, you max it out for a collection series and you never use it again, but 354 races on a common actually isn't really bad. So it has quite actually a useful car. Now, the other reason I'm making this video is because a lot of these cars are actually going to be changing a ton in RQ or stats or tires or just a bunch of stuff in general, which is also why I'm making this video. Because I feel like it'll be funny to watch it like a year later and I go back to this video and I'm like, that car I never used again in my garage. But we will just have to see. That's also the main reason I'm making it. And in place 23 now we have the Lamborghini Yalpa. 621 races, 65% win ratio, 427 days, and it is just a very useful car when it comes to all-round that isn't straight twisty, because then you can use the Lotuses and stuff like that. But when it comes to you need a car for fast circuit and also drags, but then you can't risk having a dragster because then there's a fast circuit or all twisty tracks in one of the other track sets, the Lamborghini Yalpa is your car for the job. Good 0 to 60, pretty good handling as well. How light is it? 1400, that's honestly not too bad. There's heavier cars, so it is pretty much a good all-rounder. Next up, in place 22nd place, we have the Rq63 Acura Nsx. It is just a great all-rounder, 4.0, 95, maxed out at 233. I use it a ton. I was very happy to get it because I didn't get it from all those American Frontier packs I opened up when American Frontier dropped. This was one of the cars that I didn't get after opening up all those packs because I opened a bunch of those carbon fibers. Like, I was spending money left and right when that update came out, but I didn't pull that yet. I pulled the Acura Nsx, I'm pretty sure, from either carbon fiber, some random carbon, or some random ceramic, but I pretty much maxed it out instantly, and it is definitely a very useful clubs car, especially for being 4.0 95, the same stats as the Abarth 030, without having slick tires. It's got performance tires. Then, next up on the list is a front-wheel drive beast, I did it again. It's the C2R2, if I could get to it, if I could press the right button. C2, there we go, C2R2 Max. This is a great one as well, 4.994 performance tires, which is different from the other slick tire French cars that are higher RQ and that are a bit better, but it has performance tires. 1,886 races with a 76% win ratio, which is very good, especially for a car that I do use sometimes as just an RQ saver because it's got a low top speed, so it has some low RQ. Not really sure how that's going to change when the new update drops, but this is actually a very useful all-rounder that I definitely get a lot of solid use from. Now it is onto a car that I actually have a duplicate of. I've got two of them, one of which has a goofy tune, but it's the Dodge Daytona Turbo Z. It's like your front-wheel drive RQ saver of awesomeness. 6.4, 82, it has no MRA, which keeps its RQ down then. Its top speed really doesn't matter either, because as long as you don't put it on a drag, it won't lose you very many points. And then I could just drop my heavy hitter front-wheel drive like ultra rares, and especially when it's road less taken, and I need to use 3 off-roaders, I'll grab like my 3 top heavy off-roaders, and then I'll grab like a Daytona Turbo Z, and then some other generic front-wheel drive performance tire car. And that hand will go undefeated in the club event. I also have a second one too, which I maxed out at 3.2, 3.1, 3.3, and I forgot what that was for. I'm pretty sure because I accidentally maxed it out wrong, or I honestly don't even remember what it was from. Some collection series, whatever the Daytona Famous Tracks. It was from Famous Tracks, and I had it nearly upgraded, and then I just decided to give it a goofy tune because I haven't really ever used my second one. My first one gets a bunch of use, but my second one really doesn't, 22 total races. So I don't even know, unless you're gonna like grind the crap out of clubs like every single day for hours on end, then maybe you can get a second one, but uncommons also get their service races back really quickly, so really I don't think you need a second one. Next up is the Opel Manta, and I gotta remember, I believe it's the Opel Manta 400. Yeah, 666 races with a 66% win ratio. That is a lot of sixes. But 5.9, 89, this car is in 19th place, and it is just a very useful all-rounder in every situation. For being rear-wheel drive, so it doesn't have front-wheel drive, so it has to be used in rear-wheel drive events, but just rare events in general, it is a great RQ saver because of how lightweight it is. Yeah, 1,021. And with its 89 handling, just throw it on some slalom tests or stuff like that and it won't lose you very many points, so you can go with your higher RQ rares then to get some big points. Next up is a car, I believe, oh yeah, I know what car it is now, it's the Abarth Stilo N. Now the reason I picked this over the Abarth 131 Rally is because even though this car has the saloon car wreck, or like niche, this one has the front-wheel drive niche, which is a lot more useful in clubs, at least in my opinion. I see front-wheel drive road less taken a lot more often, especially with lower RQ stuff, and the 6.0 0 to 60 is actually very useful on the drags. 1,776 races with an 84% win ratio. I'm definitely going to be maxing this car out immediately once it gets buffed to ultra rare in this new update, because it is definitely a really good one. Next up is another front-wheel drive car, except this time it does not have off-road tires. It is the Opel Opc Extreme, coming in 17th place. 2,684 races with an 81% win ratio. This car has no MRA, but it does not need MRA because it is your front-wheel drive twisty go-to car in my opinion. It's got great 0 to 60, pretty strong handling for a front-wheel drive car. 95 is a bit more at the top end for front-wheel drive cars, and being pretty decently lightweight. It's not super lightweight, but it is pretty decently lightweight. So it can also be used on twisty circuit against the other Renault Meganes and stuff because it has that 4.20 to 60, so it's got a bit of the speed edge because none of them really have any MRA. Next up in the number 16th place is probably an unusual one. It is my BMW Nazca C2. Now this car is overlooked for its one disadvantage that it has. It has one disadvantage, and that is it has 0 MRA. But the thing is though, it's got a 3.20 to 60 with 94 handling, and it only weighs 900 kgs. I believe, yeah, it is 900. It only weighs 900 kgs. I've used this in 2,567 races with a 78% win ratio. But the thing is, it's a German car. Now, German cars, there really aren't that many lightweight German cars compared to other countries which have a lot more lightweight stuff, especially British and Japan. They both have a lot of lightweight cars. Now, when you get your 900 kg BMW Nazca and use it up against legendaries that are relatively heavy, a lot of German legendaries are much heavier than 900 kgs. It'll actually win you a lot of the races. I've beat Gumpert Apollos with this. I've beat like Porsche 911s with this. It is honestly a very useful car if you want to spend the resources into maxing it out. Next up in the number 15 spot is a prize car, also a very useful prize car, not the Aventador, the Dodge Avenger Rally Sedan. 59 RQ, 941 total races in just 317 days, honestly isn't that bad, with an 88% win ratio. That's nearly in the 90s. But the reason it's so good is because it does have traction control and ABS, which does give it a bit of an advantage, but also it is a saloon car too. And this is the more dominant saloon car. Now the Abarth is like a really useful saloon car to have, the Abarth off-roader. That is the rear-wheel drive and obviously saloon car. But now this one's just better. And not many people have it because it's a prize car, which makes it even more useful because then you could just beat everyone's Abarths that they have with their Dodge Avenger Rally Sedan, which is probably why its win ratio is so high. Plus it's also front-wheel drive too, which makes it useful as well in front-wheel drive off-road events. So it's definitely a good one. Next up is I just wrote Coupe down, so I'm pretty sure I know what car it is. It is right here, the Fiat Coupe 20V Turbo. Another pretty niche random car that no one I've seen really has maxed out. I've seen one maxed out. 759 races with 479 total days owned. Now this is in the number 14 spot, and you're probably wondering, why is this car ahead of so many other cars? Well, it's Italian, it's got good grip for an Italian car, it's pretty lightweight, 4.90 to 60, it's got low ground clearance, so it is lower RQ then. It's honestly just a really useful Italian low RQ all-rounder, in my opinion. I just see it being a very useful car. You can drop it on the drags and it won't lose many points. You can drop it on the twisty stuff and it'll either win or not lose many points. It's just a really useful all-rounder to have. Now, I don't have the other Fiat maxed out, whatever the other one is with the 92 handling, the Fiata. But this one is really strong in my opinion. It is a really useful car to have. And I definitely recommend, if you don't have one and you're looking for a car to max out, why not max out this one? Plus, it's got the style icon tag too. So if you need an RQ saver when you're dropping down your Lamborghini Aventador and your Jaguar XJ13, I believe is what it is, then you should also have this Fiat to save you some RQ. Next up is obviously this one was going to be on the list, the Lotus Elise Sprint. How many races does this bad boy have? 2,177 with a 78% win ratio. Mine's maxed out at 323, and you already know why this car's on the list. I really don't think I need to explain it, so we'll just move on to the next entry, which is the number 12 Aston Martin Bulldog. Now, if you don't have a Lotus Elise Sprint maxed out, just keep one and max one out. I'm probably going to max out a second one at some point, but not right now. I don't have a second one to max out. So, Aston Martin Bulldog, amazing dragster. It's better than the Thanos Countach. It's definitely going to be better than the Thanos Countach now that those are being nerfed to oblivion. I did not see if the Aston Martin Bulldog was being nerfed or not, but I didn't see anything about it, so maybe I just skimmed over it and missed it, but hopefully it's not being nerfed, because this is a very useful prize car to have as well. 202 top speed with like 100 MRA or something, maybe even more. 4.00 to 60 as well, so it's faster than the Thanos Countach's. It's just a great dragster. 449 total races with a 78% win ratio, but that's also because I use it to go up against legendaries, and also for when there's also like a 5 twisty track sets, but then there's that occasional one drag where just having the RQ saver of the Aston Martin Bulldog, it's worth it to have. Next up in the number 11 spot is the Dodge Circuit EV Rq63. Got it at the beginning of American Frontier, 1,184 races with an 81% win ratio, I believe. Yeah, 81% win ratio. It's like your Lotus of America, which is why it obviously is really good. Acura Nsx is 10 more RQ higher for the more dominant Nsx. Now, there is the lower RQ one, which is still 55 RQ, but the Dodge Circuit EV beats it in a lot of areas, maybe even all of them, besides drags. But it's just your American Lotus to have, and I definitely recommend keeping one. It's just very useful for me. And next up in number 11, I believe. Or no, that's spot number 10. I just made it look like it's 11. Another obvious car that's why I've got two of them. Another obvious car that should be on this list, the Dodge Slingshot. I assume you already probably know why this is on the list as well. No need to explain it. Next up is the Ford Fiesta 1.0. I've got two of them, and I use them all the time in Common Clubs event. Not anymore, though, because they're being buffed, so really no importance in talking about them anyway. Them two will probably be going up to Uncommon, I'd assume. So yeah, it's just a good car though. It was a good car. Not sure how useful it'll be anymore. Next up is another car which is being buffed, and you also probably know why it's on the list. It is right here, the Lotus Elise 1.6. One of the best meta rares to use. Great handling, great 0 to 60, lightweight, 138 top speed, but you can also use it on like a quarter-mile drag if you need to. It's an obvious choice to have, to own, to be on this list. Next up in place number 7, the Lotus Exige Rq62. Another obvious reason to have this on this list, especially because I don't have a Lotus 340R. 2,462 races. Just an incredibly good car, especially if you don't have the Lotus 340R. Plus, it's just the Lotus 340R for fast stuff. When you got a little straight, it'll pop right in front of that 340R, which is why I like having it a ton. Next up, another obvious pick on this list. Not Siri, thank you. Let me just find it now, because Siri popped up. It's RQ59. It's two of them. I've got two of them. They're being nerfed to oblivion. They're going down to performance tires and a super rare, which is very sad. But it's the Infiniti Journey G37. It's a low ground clearance standard tire car, so it gets a crap ton of handling and is at the same RQ as cars that are medium, which are much worse when it comes to non-city streets. So it's an obvious choice as well to be on here. And another car which is going to Epic. It's right up on here. I've got two of them as well, Subaru Legacy BWs. They're also going to Epic. Makes sense because they're really overpowered. And my next car on this list, which is going to ultra rare, which is interesting. I don't really see that happening. Don't really know why it's happening because none of its stats changed, but it's the Peugeot 306 Maxi. Amazing car for front wheel drive events, well, front wheel drive club events. Insane 0 to 60, really good handling, 1999 niche as well, 864 kgs in its weight, 2,324 races with an 87% run ratio. Don't really know how they're knocking this down to ultra rare because in the corrections they didn't say anything about any stats being changed. So don't really know how that's happening, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see when the update drops. In RQ now, what's that? Oh, I know what that is. That is my another car that's being buffed to an Epic. It's not the LC2, it's the Lancia 037 Rally. And the reason that the Lancia 037 Rally is on this list is because it's a city streets car and an off-road car. It's good at everything, which is why it's going up to an Epic. And in my number 2 spot is a car that I assume most of you don't own. It's the Apollo Atenza Emozione. I can't not include this car on the list. It's my car that'll beat McLaren 12Cs by 100 points. 1,488 races, 97% run ratio. I'll put a common in my club's hand if I can put this Apollo in my deck, because I know this Apollo is just going to get me so many points that common really doesn't matter that it'll lose by 100 or even 200. That's just how much of a beneficial car this is, and it's just a very useful club's car, which is why I'm very happy that I maxed it out. And number 1, you may have guessed it, you may have not, I'm not sure. Don't really know why some of these other really good cars aren't here, like the Mazda Furai, but it's because of slick tires, and I just had to pick 25 cars out of 1,090. But it's the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 10 is the number 1 pick. It's going to Legendary. It's very sad. I'm going to miss having this car maxed out. I may max it out as a Legendary just because of how good it is. 3.3, 98, 1,592 races with an 87% run ratio, is also a saloon, is also 4-wheel drive, is also medium, is also Japanese, is also 2000s car. It's everything you could want from a club's car and more. So that is going to be the list of my top 25 best clubs cars for me, from my garage. And honestly, it's going to be really sad to see a lot of these get buffed or nerfed or completely changed. But hey, one good thing's coming out of it, which is that my wish listed, where is he? Mercedes AMG E55 is going down to ultra rare. Its stats aren't even being changed, just the name's changing. It's going from Mercedes AMG E55 to Mercedes E55 AMG. so cool, I guess. But yeah, it's being buffed. It's going to ultra rare, so I could actually maybe pull one now, which would make me very happy. Plus, with them being ultra rare, I could probably get like 4 of them, and I'm definitely maxing out all 4 of them. I'm gonna have a 233, I'm gonna have a 332. I'll probably have another 233, and I'll have a 332, or no, a 323 as well. Like, I'll have all the tunes on this bad boy. I just need to pull one, and with it going to ultra rare, I will hopefully be able to pull one then, which will make me very happy. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. There will be another custom update video dropping tomorrow, so go check that out. If you'd also like to participate in the custom updates, definitely join my Discord server. Also, hit the like and subscribe button because more content is coming soon now. The update's finally coming, so I've got my motivation back to make content. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Yellowfin. Like and subscribe, and goodbye.